Hello and welcome to the Energy Update. This sounds like it's like the 6 o'clock news on the BBC now. Wow, that was sort of fortuitous. So what's been going on with the energy at the moment this week? News. Pole shift has been expressing itself on the Earth. You'll see that a little later on. We'll go into that. We're also going to go into the filament energies to see what's going on with the filament energies and precisely how it sort of affects your emotions and your mental health. It's pretty important at the moment that that people understand that some of the stuff that we're going through may not necessarily be your problem. So it might be a case of an environment that is around you. You might have a cough and you're living in a house or living in a room that's got loads of smoke. That might explain you stop the smoke, you probably won't have a cough. Do you understand what I mean? So we'll be looking into all of that and we'll be seeing what the message is coming from the Earth at this time, which is quite funny because we had last week, which was prepare, prepare, prepare. I've been doing readings on another channel called the Astro Flower. It's linked in the description below and I do all the signs and etc. And we've noticed, Tanya and myself, we've noticed that there is some sort of event coming up in Taurus season. We're calling it the Taurus anomaly. So this could well be a good time to get a message about what's going on that front at this present time in the vibrations. So let's just have a quick look at what's been happening on the sun. It's all been about filament energies basically, and there's been a few eruptions. There's been one that sort of went off behind us and gave us a little clip today. And this, I noticed there was a change in the vibrations and the energies. I don't know if you've been feeling the same thing, but it feels like things are out of sync. It would have been like an emotional drive, basically, that it's like you've won the lottery, but you're not allowed to have the lottery. So that's what it feels like. It feels like you should be really happy and zippy, but things are not falling into place like they should do. That's the sort of thing, that's sort of feeling that's been sort of coming through. We also had a clip of a little bit of energy that came through early on in this week, and the KP index has been it certainly hasn't been flatlining, that's for sure. And we're getting to that cruising altitude, which I spoke about in the last energy update. And we've gone through that gripping of the chair moment. And today's just like a little pocket of turbulence that we're going through at the moment. So you may feel today, this is Sunday the 10th, you may feel that you're a little bit just out of sync, out of timing, that your emotions don't follow what you want to do. And it seems like you should have an emotion of doing one thing, but it's not, it's an emotion for something else. And within those emotions, there's a lot of mental health that goes on. So this is something that we should be aware of. So as you can see the sun here, as you've been seeing the sun, you can see all those like snake or rope-like energies that go across the surface. And that's that filament energy. It's all to do with water energy. So water signs would have probably felt a lot more at home really at the moment. Fire signs, not good for you this week, which is a turn up for the book because you've been having it good over the last 3 or 4 weeks. For earth signs, you're going to be feeling like you've got a little bit more room for manoeuvre, but because, earth signs, and particularly Capricorn, because they're a false earth sign, they've got more water in them than earth, you may feel like your emotions are being tugged and pulled, or your mental state is being tugged and pulled, close to sort of like a sort of anxiety sort of feelings in a way. It should feel good, but it doesn't feel good. When you fall in love, you've got butterflies in your stomach. And when you have anxiety, it's very similar. It's not too different. So you may get that similar sort of feeling within yourself of Capricorns, of that sort of thing. Taurus, we're coming up to your season, so you guys are probably going to be a little bit more sort of like stay at home, look after yourself, be sure about what you're doing. And Virgo, well, it's party time for you guys, I guess. The more that you can get mutable, it's the better. You probably come out the best out of all the earth signs. But anyway, so for the air signs, this may feel like you've got cold emotions. You're a little bit detached from things and not necessarily, it's not that it's not nasty at all. It's good to have detachment. emotionally detached to things, so then you can deal with them a lot better. So you may have found yourself being actually pretty productive as long as you stayed within that mental sort of state, or that mental energy, that air energy, and you do sort of very well, I think. So that's the energies that have been coming through. And if you said, and as I said, like these cords of energy that goes across the sun, it's a bit like having those emotions but bottling them up. And the one or two elements that literally sparked off, the filament energies that sparked off, and there's one that came through, and I think it was the 6th or 7th. And I think there was an emotional spike in the world according to geopolitical sense. And so, you know, that sort of pushed itself to the surface. It wasn't a massive one, but I think it feels a lot heavier today. And we certainly saw that on the KP index. So the vibrations of actually giving a bit of it's like having a bit of a wash down, having a bit of having a bit of a power hose, or going to a sauna, or, you know, where they have those hoses where they give you the massaging, aqua massaging, which is really nice. But, you know, it's a little bit like that. It's been getting off the surface stuff and making things look a little bit more sort of shiny and cleaner. Good time for healing, really, to be honest. And I've been doing quite a bit of healing, and it's been very tiring for people, I think, at the moment. The energies, that whole stress of taking off tires you out, because stress does tire people out. And so a lot of people have been coming to me with sort of stress problems. There has been a few skin problems that come off the back of those sort of flares that I said the other week. But it's mainly been sort of, tiredness and enthusiasm and sleep patterns and that sort of thing. So it's been hitting on that sort of front. The other thing is that polar shift. So that polar shift, we saw someone captured some footage of some lightning in Kansas. Take me home, Toto. You know, click 3 times with your heels and all that. And the lightning was going up from the earth to the sky. And it's exactly what I was saying on my energy updates last week or the week before, about how the D layer, and in fact, I think I did it on the X-ray flare update, or the M flare update. I'll try and link it down below so you can have a look at that. But basically the D layer, which is the upper layer of the electrical system of the earth, it gradually sort of coming right down, and it's sort of like encasing the earth. And that creates a discharge of a short circuiting between the electrical or magnetic energy, which is at the surface, which we are in, and as it discharges into the sky. So you get lightning going the other way. Now this is classic signs of pole shift. As we go further, these sort of things are going to become a little bit more important, I think, over the next sort of 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever years it is. If you imagine, if you get caught in one of those going upwards, it's going to blow a few fuses in you. So, you know, you can probably be able to feel it a lot more within your body. It'd be very interesting. I might do a bit of storm chasing in the future just to see how it feels. But yeah, so that footage there that you saw is amazing, but it's like, it's systematic of the coupling of all the electrical layers that makes up the magnetic field of the earth. Okay, so we've had that sort of coming through at the moment. That's been hitting home really to these magnetic field changes that are coming through to the future. So now let's move on to the Earth, and let's get to see what's going on with the Earth. I have dowsed the line. It's pretty much stable as of what it was. It seems to be very sort of constant energy more than anything else. Nothing of any sort of extremes or sort of extravagance is the best way to describe it. Okay, so I'm sitting on the line at the moment. Let me just connect with it now. There we go. There we got the inner connection there, the central connection. It wants to go up to the crown and the root, but it gets stuck at the throat. It's like, that's that anxiety, sort of like want to express things, but it's difficult to express it. You get in the third eye and the plexus solis at the same time, which is quite important. And then we're going up to the crown. There's the crown and the root. Back to the throat and the third eye. There is that plexus, that sacrum, sorry. It's just slightly in the background. And then we're back to the beginning. That's a long one, really. Okay, I'm now going to connect and just find out what the message is coming through. I'd like to also ask it about what it thinks about this Taurus anomaly. Oh, that's where the sacrum is. And then my elbow. So an elbow is like it's not really a chakra per se. In French, elbow, you say coude, which means it's almost to sew, and to sew things up. It's like putting things in a bow, an elbow. So you put things in a bow, so you're tying things together. So, and it's where we have to put we have to put ourselves tie ourselves back up to the nature. I was talking about this before, a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, and this is the moment. I don't think it's today. I think it's over. This is what could be that Taurus anomaly coming out. It's going to be a bit heart-rending. I think it's basically we're going to have to change the way we do things. Strange because we've got the elections here in France at the moment today, so maybe this emotional spike that's come through at the moment may translate into the elections. That'd be quite mad. There's also another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted your opinion on it. So this is about telepathy, or that coincidence connections with others around it. Have you noticed that it's picked up a little bit? That, you think about someone and they phone you and stuff like that? Is it, I know that comes and goes and stuff like that, but it seems to be a lot more poignant or much more direct at the moment than any other time. Let's see what you think, Leave a comment in the description below. It'd be good to hear from you. Obviously, if you want to subscribe, it would be lovely to have you here on the channel, because we are part of the solution. Not one of us is the solution, we are the solution. So, if we can sort of exchange information and exchange ideas, then maybe we can come up with something that's worthwhile living. Who knows? So, come and join us here on Cymatic TV. You can also join us on Instagram and stuff like that, Yeah. There's going to be a lot of talking at some point. A lot of expression. All right. Well, there you go. I hope you did enjoy that. I will speak to you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy. Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.